Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War arc. This is going to take the last two episodes, episodes 12, Everything But the Rain, June Truth, and episode 13, part 1, final. I think this is called The Blade Is Me, I believe, even though Hulu does not have it labeled as such. So yeah, in episode 12, we have the conclusion of the events that were going on in the previous episode, as squad captain Ishin Shiba goes back to Soul Society to report what's going on, but then there are complications with the Quincy Masaki who we met in the world of the living prior, and then in episode 13 we pretty much wrap up the whole season, at least this part one of the season. So for those that are following along with the manga, this covers episodes 533 to the latter half of 533 that was left off of last week's episode, and all the way through 542, except like the last few pages of 542. So it's really interesting that they decided to release these two as a couple of as a pair. When going back and thinking about it, I think episode 11 and 12 should have been put together, and then maybe episode 13 would have been the finale, but I know they wanted to do like the 60-minute thing in the air. So yeah, really interesting stuff. I think the last three episodes really worked together as one. um I know, just based on all the marketing and everything, we were expecting like these were pretty long. They were like 25 minutes each, because the second one didn't have the closing credits. It actually just kind of kept playing through with the credits. The first episode had a really long, I'm talking about like 4 minutes maybe after credit scene, so it ended pretty quickly. You can go check it out. I did a live, I did a watch along where you can time it with the episodes and sync it up and just kind of watch it along with me. But let's get into it. So, I guess we'll first off talk about Ishin and Masaki's Mikasa. That's a different anime. Masaki's the continuation of their story, right, and how they became bound to each other. First of all, the theme of the rain continued all throughout, and I really enjoyed seeing that. I just think the animation in these episodes, like, I think it's been improving every episode. I think the team really kind of hit their stride, because it looks fantastic. I love the coloring, how it changes in some of the more crucial parts. It's also really interesting to see how Ryosuke, who is Uryu's dad, how his story plays along, and really the parallels between Uryu and Ichigo, which, although I was aware that there were characters that were kind of not exactly mirrors of each other, but they share a lot of different events in their past that are tied to each other, that I believe we hadn't. I think it's why it's so important that the anime is showing you all these little things of Uryu, like as we go, all these little vignettes of like what his journey is being, because he's also going in the same but the opposite direction as Ichigo, right? Because they'll eventually probably collide, as a Quincy versus a Shinigami kind of head off to war again in the future. But yeah, it was great. It's always really fun to see characters in the past, like before the anime started. This takes place about 20 years prior, which is when Ishin and Masaki met each other. We see Urahara, we see some of the some of the other Quincy. We see more of Ryosuke's family. Um, and it just really works out so well. Like, it really plays in. And then, just as you think that we got the full story, Ishin does the final reveal in the post-credit scene of the first episode, which is why it was so long, where we see that it was because of Yuhobach taking the power from those who he considered not not worthy of being Quincy, that Ichigo's mom died fighting a holo, which she should have been able to take care of, no problem. We saw we saw her fight with White and how capable she is as a fighter, how powerful she really is as a Quincy. So yeah, it is fantastic, and just the adaptation of all that material of her holification, and Ishin making the decision to be bound to her to protect her and stop her holification. It is fantastic. They did cut out a gag where you do see Masaki nude because she's at the clinic or the house shop as they're doing all this stuff to save her life, which was not adapted, which I saw online a lot of people complaining, not complaining, but like jokingly complaining that it was taken out. I thought that was really funny. And then we get to the last episode, which it may be the best episode of the whole. Like, it's kind of hard because it is the final. I just really think they nailed this final episode. I don't know if it's the best. I do plan to rewatch this once the dub is fully out. I've only watched one episode of the dub just to wanted to check it out. But I do want to rewatch this as a dub. Dub is the main way I first watched Bleach, so that's definitely the way I want to experience it again. But yeah, in this second episode, we get first of all the preparations that the Soul Society and the Gote 13, specifically those captains who have lost their Bankai. We see little vignettes of all of them, right? We see Soifon, we see Toshiro, um, as they try to they need to find a way to become stronger now that they've lost their Bankai, and how to protect not only that but also the rest of society. Mayori doing experiments, which they have a really interesting payoff in the future if you have read the manga. So yeah, I mean they're getting ready for a war that they know is coming. Um, and now I think the following up from Ichigo's storyline is that he immediately regains his confidence, which is thematically just really cool. Like, not knowing the full truth about who you really are, just as a person, or denying a part of you, or something like that, can definitely not have you be at your best. So when Ichigo finally gets that last piece of himself and he understands who he is, that's when we see that his resolve is back, and it's just so well done. I was looking through the manga to pull some panels for our later video, and it's just so beautifully adapted. It is so the team just Studio Pierrot is just really killing it here. So yeah, we go back to Neomara's palace to finally reforge Ichigo's Bankai. And there's like probably one of the coolest scenes. You can probably see my reaction in the video as the Astucci, the swords just kind of all bow down to Ichigo. And in contrast to what had happened before, where they would be fighting him, and he finally picks up a sword that he can call his own, and we see that it is a sword that very much looks like his hollow self prior to, right? And we find out probably one of the biggest truth, the biggest revelation I think in the anime, from what I can remember, that Sangetsu, old man Sangetsu, who we know and see, is actually Ichigo's Quincy power, personified as somebody who kind of looks like Yuhobachi. So they'd really have a connection. That's why he called Ichigo his son born in the dark, because that Quincy power was inside of him. But his real power, his real Sanpakto, is Sangetsu, the hollow form of Ichigo, which comes from his mom and dad, right? His parents, as we just found out in the previous episodes. But Ichigo resolves that he learned so much from both, and I guess cares so much for both, that he sees both the hollow and his Quincy power, that personified Sangetsu, the one we know with the black cloak. He sees them both as his true sword. So, yeah, as the swords are being reforged, Ichigo pulls them out of the fire and actually pulls out two swords, which is it left everyone aghast. It's just a fantastic sequence. It is incredible, and of course, to close out, one more little stinger at the end, where we see Uryu being brought in front of Yuhobach, and that's kind of how we leave this season. It is just top tier entertainment for me. As a Bleach fan, I'm so glad and thankful that we're getting an adaptation like this. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do the rewatch. I'm very excited to do some more videos, some more digging. I'm very excited to just look at other content creators and what they think about this stuff. I love going through my feeds, whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, or YouTube, and just seeing Bleach all over the place because I love this property and I love this stuff. So let me know what you thought of these episodes. As I mentioned, I made a short a YouTube short primer with a quick recap in 60 seconds of everything prior to these episodes. Then you can also watch the watch along. We have this review. We'll have also a trailer reaction for part two. VIZ did release a trailer for part two, which should be coming in July of 2023, which is not as long as I thought it was going to be. We were thinking maybe we wouldn't get anything till December of next year or something like that. But at this pace, we're going to get before the end of 2024 we might get all of Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War. Who knows? Um, but yeah, we have a bunch of coverage. We'll keep doing some more stuff, of course. Our next video, the little short video that we do, just highlighting some of the favorite manga panels from these two episodes, and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll keep talking about Bleach. We'll keep covering some more anime. The season's not over for everything. We still have a lot of stuff. My Hero Academia returns in January. I think Chainsaw Man's still ongoing as well, which has gotten really good. And of course, things like uh, a Blue Lock, Spy Family, all that stuff that we're watching. So let me know what you think of all that stuff down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.